Sonic Chaos is the third side-scrolling Sonic game for the Game Gear, arriving in North America in 1993. While the first two games were met with mixed reviews, most Sonic fans agree Sonic Chaos is where the 8-bit Sonics finally started hitting their stride. Again, as the Game Gear screen isn't suitable for video capture, we'll be using the version found on Sega Mega Collection Plus for the PlayStation 2. Sonic Chaos gives you the option to choose between Sonic or Tails, which adds a bit of variety to the admittedly small game. After selecting your weapon of choice, it's immediately obvious there is a huge jump in quality here. Turquoise Hill is your typical first Sonic level, with bright blue skies and lush greenery. The graphics look surprisingly great considering the limited hardware. Sprites look excellent, most of the backgrounds feature more detail, and even the colors chosen on each stage seem to complement each other rather well. The art direction feels more consistent, and I absolutely love how nearly everything has that pseudo 3D look from the Genesis titles. Gigapolis Zone changes things up with a nighttime romp through a futuristic city. A bridge mechanic is introduced here that I'm not sure I like. If you don't run over it with enough speed, Sonic will simply fall through. There is also a minor issue with the Game Gear's low-resolution screen, making it tough to jump on moving platforms. Sleeping Egg Zone changes things up completely. Nearly everything is made of blocks, but some of them are solid, some break, and some are false walls that Sonic falls through. It's an interesting gimmick for sure, and fits Sonic's simple moveset rather well. Next up is Mecha Green Hill, which looks pretty much exactly how it sounds. For the fourth straight time, the color palette and art style are completely different, yet feels cohesive to the Sonic universe. It is here I really began to notice how much better the level design is. There are actually multiple paths, breakable walls, and hidden areas to discover. Little things like this make the whole experience a lot more enjoyable than the earlier offerings. Aqua Planet is next. While I usually can't stand Sonic water levels, most of the water sections can be bypassed here thanks to the branching paths. Finally, we arrive at Electric Egg Zone. Everything here is filled with circuit boards and microchips, and the background actually animates. It's obvious the creators had no shortage of ideas, and this stage feels just as fun as all before it. Compared to the first Game Gear title, Sonic Chaos just feels infinitely more creative. Sonic Chaos also introduces rocket shoes, turning Sonic's sneakers into rockets, propelling him anywhere he wants to go. The Super Peel-Out from Sonic CD also makes an appearance, though it's not any more useful than the traditional Spin Dash. Unfortunately, a few problems still remain. First, the game is really easy. Most stages can be breezed through in under a minute, and there really aren't enough obstacles or badniks to impede your progress. The bosses in Sonic Chaos are also really awful. A couple of them can be defeated simply by jumping to the right and then holding the right button as the physics keep you in the air safely away from any sort of enemy fire. This is a shame too, because the third act of each zone actually has rings you can collect before entering the fight. These are sometimes hidden too, but as you know the rings are somewhere, it encourages you to actually explore the level to find them, so you aren't entering the boss fight without any sort of protection. While the controls still feel somewhat off, they are much tighter than the first two games. The momentum feels good and landing tricky jumps is far easier. It's not perfect, however, and the game liked to ignore the down command after hitting a spring, causing for the occasional loss of rings. The frame rate also felt sluggish at times, as if the little Game Gear couldn't quite keep up with the designer's ambitions. The special stages and Chaos Emeralds are also handled differently. After collecting 100 rings, you are immediately warped to a special stage where you must locate and collect the hidden Chaos Emerald. As Chaos Emeralds are special items that should be earned, I enjoyed this far more than hunting them down in the normal levels. Sonic Chaos has a solid soundtrack composed of unique music, rather than down mixes of 16-bit tracks. The drum samples are crisp and the melodies are catchy and upbeat. It's everything you could want in an 8-bit platformer. Sonic Chaos not only succeeds at being a good Sonic game, it succeeds at being a fun platformer period. The controls are tighter, the levels are interesting with branching paths and hidden areas, and the graphics are some of the best to grace Sega's 8-bit hardware. Still, the game is not without its faults. The lack of any sort of challenge, horrible bosses, and insanely short length hold this game back from being truly great. 3 out of 5.